Arsenal dropped two valuable points against Brentford, which shortens their lead over City to just about 4 points. I mean, they're slowly beginning to do what everybody kind of knew they were going to do eventually, which is eventually drop points and eventually bottle the Premier League. And when people say this, it's not like they're wishing Arsenal bad luck or they're trying to like jinx it or they're trying to hate on Arsenal. No, no, no. We have to go by because every type of analysis is based on past events. Every type of future predictions is based on what has happened in the past. And Arsenal have continuously shown that they're incapable of seeing through of seeing any title race, to the end. And City have shown that regardless of where they are, when the title race starts or is heating up, they still find a way to make it to the finish line and to pass the finish line before everybody else. And and I know that tonight might not be an ultimate decider on who wins the title or who doesn't get the title, but it counts. Somehow, it's gonna count. And that's the beauty of the Premier League because every single thing you do in the Premier League counts. You lose games, even that's the first game of the season and you lose it, at some point you would have wished that you got a draw from that game. So, as it might not be the decider or the final decider as to what exactly, like who exactly is going to take the league in the end, but it will count. Trust me, because the way Guardiola and City, if you watched City versus Fulham, like it's like a completely different City team that you've been seeing in the past. And I know Fulham were very, very bad, but you have to still give City the credit that they're due, which is that they played really, really well, and they've made signings to match. Arsenal are slowly getting into that point where they're getting injuries and they're getting sluggish. They're ball watching because they're getting tired. They've played with so much intensity that it's almost natural that they're gonna get tired eventually, and they showed that tonight. Brentford were spectacular. Brentford were spectacular. The defending, the set pieces, the throw-ins, the attacks. It was wonderful to watch. It was wonderful. I mean, as a Man United fan, we beat Arsenal fair and square. But then I haven't quite seen any other team come this close to the way Brentford pressed Arsenal and held them back, and the attacks and the through balls and everything. It was beautiful to watch. The fact that Arsenal got out of this game with a draw is, I would personally say that they're very lucky because they should have lost. They should have lost this game by at least two goals. So, I mean, I guess kudos to them that they at least got a draw, which again is going to tell for them if City don't end up getting across the finish line. In the Premier League, it's better you draw in the league in football. It's better you draw than you lose. So kudos to Arsenal for drawing this game, which they had no stake in at all, at all. Okay, let us come to players. First of all, let us mention how Igor Thiago showed Gyökeres what a striker should do on a pitch, what exactly a striker is all about. Igor Thiago, like that today was. I know he didn't score. He had chances to score, but the way he handled Gabriel, the fact that Gabriel didn't even get a red card is a miracle. It tells to the terrible officiating in the Premier League. Again, unpopular opinion, I think the Premier League officiating has to be one of the worst of the Europe's top five leagues. It's so bad because that should have been a red card. Gabriel should have been sent off, and if he had been sent off, Brentford would have gone on to win that game. So, but let's leave that part aside. Let's talk about how great Igor Thiago was, even if he didn't get a goal tonight. He was spectacular. He kept Gabriel and Mosquera on their feet. I mean, Mosquera, he made a mistake almost in the end. And then that tackle was amazing. But again, it takes a good striker to keep you on your feet. It takes a good striker. Like you have to feel his presence in there. And not just in the box. The way he would win the first ball, the way he would run at them, it was spectacular. And it was like watching two polar opposites, Gyökeres and Igor Thiago. It was like watching two, you know, different, two opposite sides of something, when one actually looks like he knows what he's doing and the other feels like he's a tourist on the pitch. So okay, let's forget about that. Let's come back to the captain of the team, which, to be very, very honest, when because the first half was all about Brentford, but then when Odegaard was brought in the second half, I think he went a long way. I think that not just his play, it wasn't about his play. I think his presence changed that in favor of Arsenal, and then they eventually got to go. But what was Odegaard doing? Odegaard, what were you doing, mate? Because he was like he was ball watching, and afterwards he just fell down to, I don't know if he was feigning an injury or something. But how do you say that you're the captain of a team, and then you're ball watching when the ball comes in the box? It's almost like Arsenal players don't even understand that they're in a title race. It is down to 4 points, guys. And I'm not even an Arsenal fan, and I'm the one reminding you guys that it's down to 4 points. You lose one, and there's 13 games to go. So that means if you lose one more game, it's over. You're screwed. One more game. In fact, if you draw one more game, you're screwed. Completely screwed. So if there's a time to wake up, this is it. You're that close. But yeah, all in all, it was a really, really good game. It was a good game to watch. Not because Arsenal gave, what Arsenal usually would give, but it was because of the fact that Brentford didn't back down. They didn't come to defend. They didn't come to sit back and say, okay, we're just gonna, see how this goes. No, 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 no. That wasn't it. They gave as good as they got, and they gave even better. And now they're sixth in the Premier League. Because, no, yeah, are they sixth? They could be sixth or no. I think they're probably seventh because Liverpool won. But still, due credit to Keith Andrews, to the Brentford manager. Due credit, wonderful job he's done, incredible job he's done. You lost two of your best players, and then the club lost its manager, who, in quotes, has to be one of their best managers of all time. And then they brought in this guy, and he's sixth in the Premier League, and he's surpassed their best ever point tally of any season in the Premier League. What a guy! I think due credit should be given to this guy. He has done marvelously, and this is what we like to see. But I hope that this guy can manage to, stick with Brentford, and see where this goes, and not allow himself to get poached by a big team and then go on to ruin his career. So, all in all, what a good game! What a really, really, really good game! It was very entertaining. I was at the edge of my seat throughout the game, and eventually Arsenal are already doing what we knew they were going to do eventually. So yeah, I think this makes things a bit more exciting. This makes things a bit more unpredictable in a way. I mean, the best prediction right now would be that Arsenal are going to bottle it, but that would be a lazy prediction because, to be honest, Arsenal have done a great job this season. They've done a really, really good job this season. But then again, it's not about what they've been doing in the season, it's what they're going to do, because the problem is with the finish, is with the way they finish the season, and it has not been great. So let's see if they have it in them to finish it, the right way this season and get their hands on the Premier League title. But if not, who cares?